tips for better posture with you. Now, as an executive mom, juggling the demands of a high stress job and caring for younger children, you're likely to spend some long hours at your desk. Now, sitting for prolonged periods can lead to poor posture, weakened core muscles, back pain. We know all these impacts that comes and then eventually starts to niggle away at your productivity, at your overall well-being, right? So in this video, we are going to discuss how can you, in fact, I'm going to discuss 4 simple tips on how you can engage and strengthen your core even when you're sitting, and that will help you to improve your posture and reduce your back pain. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high-stress executive jobs to manage their spinal and nerve pain, so that is back, neck, and nerve pain, despite low energy levels and brain fog or lack of focus. I do this by giving you simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modifications, some tips and tricks that have helped me in my own pain and adrenal fatigue journey. Now, by adrenal fatigue, of course, it's got varied symptoms, but the ones that I had were low energy levels and lack of focus, and that's exactly what I talk about, because once you have these, it is very, very difficult, not impossible, because I've been there, done that, but it's very difficult to manage your spinal and nerve pain. So I teach you how to do that because I've been there, done that, as I said, and I'm here to help you out. And I do all of this without taking away a big chunk of your time because, hey, we're moms, we're busy people, right? So without any further delay, let's get into the topic for today, which is engage your core while sitting. 4 simple tips for better posture and back pain relief. So, the very first thing you want to do is before you engage your core in your workday at your desk, there is a very simple thing you want to do, which is set up your workspace ergonomically, or set up an ergonomic workspace. Now, if you are doing a lot of core engagement techniques, the ones that I'm going to address, however, you have a setup or a desk or the place where you are sitting throughout the day for your work, which is not optimized ergonomically. Basically, it tends to put your body into a poor posture. Really, you're doing 2 contradictory things. So you could do something as simple as sit with your feet flat on the floor. If your feet are dangling and do not reach the floor, put a footstool or a couple of, like cardboard box, just fill it up with paper or whatever is available, and then close the box and then put your feet on top of it. You want to make sure your knees are at a 90-degree angle and your shoulders are relaxed so you're not up here. So the armrest of your chair is not too high. Otherwise, you'll be shrugging your shoulders. So your shoulders are absolutely relaxed when you're doing your work. Now, using an adjustable standing desk is also recommended, or an ergonomic chair with a lumbar support. If it does not have an inbuilt one, you could get an external one. If you want to know the one that I have used, I have an ergonomic chair now, but the ones that I've used in the past, I will leave a link to that lumbar support. I'll tell you later where you can find it. So what all this does is it keeps your spine in a good alignment and it reduces your slouching, slumping, or poor posture. A well-aligned workspace, it will minimize the strain on your spine and your joints, rather your body in general, and it will allow you to engage your core more effectively without any discomfort, right? So if you want to know more details, I know I've given you a very superficial overview here, but if you want to know more details about setting up your desk ergonomically or how to sit in a good posture, I've done a couple of YouTube videos, actually quite a few YouTube videos on this topic. So you can go to my YouTube channel and have a look, or you can go to YouTube, type my name, Swati Prakash Ergonomics, or chair, or desk, or sitting posture, and all these topics will come up for you. If you can't find them, just message me and I'll send it across to you. So the very first thing, was setting up the ergonomic workspace. The very second thing you want to do is sit with an intentional posture. Now, this is easier said than done. So I will tell you a few tips that have worked for me. So to avoid a poor posture and to engage your core, begin by sitting in an upright posture. Imagine there's a string pulling you from the top of your head, elongating your spine. You might have heard this one. It's a very popular one that many doctors, physical therapists, and healthcare professionals will tell you, or even your well-meaning friends might have told you. But I'll tell you how to implement it. So keep your shoulders down and relaxed and avoid slouching forwards. Now, this automatically, when you're sitting in a good posture, will engage your core muscles naturally and they will help to support your spine. How do you do this? How I did it was a lot of sticky notes, alarms on my phone. um, I would tell my kids to tell me if I was slouching, and they are very good at telling me. Even if they slouch themselves, they would come up to me and just poke me in the back and say, "Mama, straighten up," right? So, or you can, the places where you know you're spending the maximum amount of time. So, suppose it's your laptop, put a pop-up on a silent laptop, pop-up on your laptop, so it can even come up when you're in your meetings. So that really helps. It's simple, yet it helps. Now, the third one is you want to try some seated pelvic tilts. Now, pelvic tilts are an easy, subtle way to activate your core when you're seated. You can do this when you're traveling, in meetings, at your desk, at home, anywhere. Start by tilting your pelvis slightly forward. So you are creating a gentle arch in your lower back, right? And then tilt it back. What that means is basically you flatten your lower back against the chair. So what I'm doing here is I'm arching my back and then I'm flattening my back, right? So I'm arching and flattening my back. So what is happening, though I'm focusing on the arch and the flattening of the back, my pelvis, so that is the ring of bone around your glutes and your perineal area. So that ring of bone is the pelvic area, and that is moving. So basically, it's tilting forwards and backwards. So this is the pelvic tilt that you are looking for. And of course, this engages your core. It promotes a better spinal alignment. You want to do about 10 to 12 repetitions. If you feel tired doing it, then of course you can take a break at any time. Try doing this a couple of times in the day, maybe 3 to 5 times. And then if you're comfortable, you can increase it more. So this was number three. The fourth one is you can use a kneeling chair or those the wobble cushions. So when you're sitting on those and you need to balance yourself, you will need to work on your core. So suppose, for example, if you're sitting on a wobble cushion, right? So I have one right here. So this is the one that I use. It's got these spiky side and the other side. So when I sit on it, so do you see how it's very wobbly? So when you sit on it, in order to maintain your back in a neutral position, so in order to maintain this upright position, you will have to engage your core. There is no way you can sit without slouching if you do not engage your core when you're sitting on a wobble cushion. Similarly, a kneeling chair also helps you to do that. I will not go into the details of this. Again, you can go to YouTube and have a look at my video on kneeling chairs. And I have a couple more points that I wanted to cover, but because the video will get too long, I have put them into a blog that I have written on this topic. In that blog, you will find the link to the lumbar support that I mentioned earlier on. And in that blog, you will also find uh, sorry, let me just look at my notes. So in there, you will also find, yeah, 7 exercises that you can do at your workplace while sitting in your desk to strengthen your core. So that is a free checklist that I have for you, and you can have a look at it in that blog. So the exercises that I mentioned, like the pelvic tilts, there are a lot more that you can do sitting at your desk, and they're very subtle. Nobody can really tell you're doing them. So it is a good it's a good collection of exercises in that guide, in that checklist. Have a look. So I will leave a link to that blog in the description of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link is in my bio. It's the latest blog there. If you're watching this sometime in the future and you can't find it, message me and I'll send it across to you. Alrighty, I hope this was useful for you, and I'll see you guys next.